We ready. It says, but let's go. Hello,
Hey
everyone. This is
everybody! This is
hello.
Let's talk about it. Hey! Yay! We have today Alice,
Yay. We're ready.
Terry, and Dr.
Exciting.
Shawana.
Oh wow.
Hey,
It's Saturday evening,
happy
everybody.
Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, to
You'll
everybody.
wonder why? Because we love you. That's why we're here on Saturday. So we're
And there's
excited.
nothing you can do about it either.
It's great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Well, one of the things that I would love to punch in and start off. Hey, please share. Please hit like
Like and share, y'all.
not only just like and share, but the other part is that please, thank you. Talk to us in the comments. You can do that. So we're excited about it. So this afternoon, I just want to start this off because this is something that's really been on my mind. And it's all about our youth and what are we going to do? What is happening? It says, what's happening with our youth? What's really going on? Anybody, what do y'all think? What's going on?
I say social media number one.
Yeah. Social media is like the biggest peer pressure that exists out there. It
Bullying,
is
peer pressure, bullying.
yeah, bullying. It's just
Yes,
it's different. It's different.
very much so.
It really is.
They got all the different platforms. You got Instagram, you got the TikTok. Nobody do Facebook but the older people. But
And
which
we
one?
chose
You're
this afternoon because a lot of things is happening every day. I mean, in the news, in school, out of school. We just got to talk about it because
Right.
that's what Let's Talk About is about, being concerned about the community and things that's going on. And my heart goes out again to parents. And yes, parents, we're going to definitely help you too. Just giving you some tips, giving you some nuggets to put in your toolbox so that you can take away. But hey, we just got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. All of us are concerned. It's your child and mine, your grandchild and mine. So we got to be concerned about them both of them. So I want to read this to you, that more and more youngsters are succumbing to depression and the lack of care and concerns for themselves and others, which have in turn manifested in reckless behavior such as drug use. We know that sexual promiscuity. We know that horrendous acts of violence toward themselves and others. What do y'all think about that?
wow. Well, I
Yeah.
think part is
Interesting.
real. I mean, it goes back to like what happened with COVID when everybody was disconnected. Now everybody's starting to reconnect, but I think your
Mhm.
brain tends to rewire itself, when you go through something like that because it was traumatic for a lot
Yeah,
of young people. And so I think they come back and now they're having to learn how to socialize again, and just really how to respond to, life in general. So that's kind of what
Right.
I think. My heart goes out to the young people having children. I mean, you see the differences.
yeah,
But nowadays you got the different type of parents as well. Some of the parents don't help the situation any because they're not, they act just as young as the youth. And then they let the youth a lot of times get away with a lot of stuff because they so preoccupied with what they have going on. And so
Right.
the youth just is left, doing their own thing. And nobody
And
is following up, on whatever is going on with them as it relates to social media, as it relates to school, as it relates to anything. Parents got to be parents and they got to do their due diligence as it relates to the children because you got a lot of grandparents now raising um the parents' children, and that's crazy.
right. That is so true, Terry. That is so true. It's just to see the differences in how it was when we were coming up and the parents and being there involved and in your business. We didn't have social media. Now social media is raising the children.
Right,
TikTok is raising these kids.
right.
Um, Snapchat is
Instagram.
raising kids, Instagram, Netflix. everything is about, like instant and right there in your face, kind of like
Right.
TV. So that mess is actually raising the kids. And you're right.
Hmm.
Parents are, I think the parents, you have a lot of parents that are like so caught up in how they look on social media and their profile, and they're up trying to, look, dolled up, and so they can take their picture and, put the looks up or whatever. I mean,
Do they
it's
look
it's
selfies?
it's different. It's different.
Yeah,
It
it
I
is
really
know my
way
is.
different.
Yeah, it really is. Every day when you're working with parents, working with, and some parents just, you know, have given up. I just don't know what to do. What do I do? The more I talk and blah 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 blah, all of this. But what is it that COVID did not help? A lot of this steamed up prior to COVID, but then
Hmm.
once COVID hit, yes, of course. So now we're at a place where it's post COVID. Now it's time. What do we do? More and more children are having to get therapy as a result. Then now bullying has gone up again. Children just knocking children out of. I just saw this knocking children, a little boy out of knocked him out of his chair and then stoned him. Uh,
Oh,
no reason at all. And so it makes you wonder what in the world, the violence and the nature of that. And then children are getting these what cases, the company getting these cases with juvenile and all of that at a very young age. And that's gotta be
Right.
frustrating for parents. It's gotta be
can
frustrating.
you imagine what the
Nobody
teachers
just raised it. Huh?
can you imagine the teachers though and what they're going
Oh, yeah,
through, or
absolutely. Yes.
how they're having
Yeah.
to navigate this entire thing? I could
Right.
not imagine being a teacher post COVID. I mean, some children, I don't know. I just can't imagine being that post COVID, because it's for them, that's a stressor when children come back and you're having to re-teach them. It
Hmm.
goes beyond even just the behaviors. Look at what's happening to school in general, how the children are now needing to catch up academically. And that's a big issue. That's a big deal. It was just on the news just recently about kids being behind, and teachers struggling to try to get them caught up.
That's a real big problem. I have this
Mhm.
question here that says that um, what is the hardest part of being, a teenager? And the most difficult part of being a teenager is trying to understand their feelings and who they are, and that is the truth. And at the same
Yeah.
time, you have to deal with pressures of work, school, family, friends, and the stereotype of being labeled as teens. It's a lot. And like you said,
Yeah.
for teachers, they struggle because a lot of parents cannot do the work that the children are doing in school. So
Right.
children are left to try to fend for themselves to keep up. But again, a lot of programs I know are just coming out with parenting. What can you do, as being a parent educator? What do you do in terms of giving, parents, the kind of encouragement that they need so that they can be motivated to really be a parent. I know, and I realize this, and I say it again, parenting ain't easy, but I do know that it is one of the best jobs that you'll ever have. It is not
Hmm.
easy. However, it's called, in this space that we're living in, we cannot allow to be a ghost parent. Okay, we can't
Exactly.
be a ghost parent. What does that mean? What do you think a ghost parent means? Uh,
Where you're in the house, but you're not connected.
there you go.
That's
There
part of it. You're
There, but not there.
there, but not there. You also may not even be in the house. You're either whether you're out working all the time or just doing your own thing, but the children are left to raise themselves.
So I heard this parent said, but what about me? What about my needs? I mean, what about me? I can't really help my child because I have my needs. This is what I got to do. What about that? So you got parents feeling like, I need to take care of myself, long as I
But
can.
that's real. I mean, I don't see anything in principle. I don't see anything wrong per
No.
se with that statement, because you do need to take time for yourself, although it's harder when you have children, but you do need to take time for yourself. But that comes with a village, you know. But
Ah,
think about it. A lot of when we grew up, we had family around us. So we, had cousins and aunts and uncles and
Right.
different people that
Right.
stay at our grandmama's house. And, we had that. Children, some of them, it still exists, but no one really goes to visit like they used to,
no.
or as often, and then families move away. So it's different. It used to be, at least for African American families, you tend to get scattered and disjointed. Maybe I'm being too what do you call it? Where you're just kind of like putting everybody in the same category. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to do that. You move away to move away,
Right.
or you're not even
Right.
far away, but you don't go visit. You don't
Right.
pick up the call. So I just think that it's just different. I don't know, Terry, what do you think?
And I get that with that statement as well. What about my needs or whatever? But a lot of times sometimes you have to make sacrifices. When you have children, you got to sacrifice a lot of stuff. There's a
Ah,
lot of times that I had needs and wants too, but I had my children that I had to be responsible for and make sure that they got what they needed. And then my time will come once everybody is gone out of the house. But a lot of times parents don't want to make the sacrifice that need to be made, when you have children. That's something that, you have to think about that when you start trying to have children.
yeah.
Again, you have to sacrifice. There's just something you have to sacrifice. I mean, everybody have needs and wants and all that needs to be met, but there's a time and place for all of that as well. The children are the ones that are trying, you're trying to get them up so that they can be responsible adults and make the right decisions. So you're trying to give them survival skills. So at that point in time, a lot of times your needs and wants have to just be on the back burner for a little bit until you can get the children where they need to be. But they need total attention because, again, now, like when I had my children or when mom had her kids, even when you had yours, all this social media was not like that, like it is now. These children are looking at this social media, they thinking that this is what they want, this is life, and it's not.
Right.
I would hate it if it was social media back then. It would have been crazy. But social media has just taken over, and these children, like my daughter was telling me, my granddaughter, why was she on social media at 1 o'clock in the morning? You got school the next morning. What are you doing?
There's a lot of
I'm
children
not to cut your
on
Wi-Fi off.
social
So you can go
media.
to sleep.
They are on social media all night.
All night. And then she said, well, I can't sleep. Well, I see why. Now you need gummies, the melatonin to go to sleep.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you need melatonin to go to sleep. So she got to pop
Children.
a couple of melatonin so she could because she can't sleep.
Well,
What is that? That's anxiety. That's because you on this social media doing all this stuff and all that.
Well, and it's because parents allow it. This particular parent said to me on our parenting session, she said, at a certain time, at 8 o'clock, the phone have to be put on my nightstand. And that's the only way that I can control it during the night to ensure I do that. She said it may not, she doesn't like her daughter and son. They do not like it, but this is my standard in the house. The only way that I came to the conclusion that I can control this. And so now that they know this, then, they okay with it because I had to force it. And yes, did I have some kickback and fight back? Yes, she had kickback, fight back. She said, but I am a single parent, so I got to do whatever I can to save my children. She said, and I realized that right there is taking, the social media is taking a lot of children, lives away from them slowly, but some. And so parents have to make tough decisions. And do you want to be their friend? Do you want them to like you? You don't have to like me right now. You'll have the opportunity to do that when you become grown. But right now, I
Right.
will probably be your worst enemy. And
And they
that's
probably
You know
be
what,
yours.
because you become the enemy when you start messing with those phones. You
As
become
they
the
say,
enemy.
you're an op. You're the ops.
Whatever it is. You know, your
Mom,
vibe. Listen to what the children saying. Oh, her vibe not right. What vibe?
Yeah. I got bad and stuff.
What kind of vibe? What vibe? Why people
Yeah.
running around now talking about, oh yeah, it's that vibe. I don't get a good vibe. Get out of here.
She told me one day, Grandma, your energy, is everything okay? You all right? Because your energy, your vibe, good, whatever.
she's like, go sit down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What about yours?
I will never forget when you used to tell us that all the time. You are not my friend. You could be my friend later. It's like right
Did you
now.
say I forget, but I can't remember what you said. I forget what it was. Whatever it was, it did not register. It did not matter. Only thing I was focused on, getting you through school. That's what we gotta do. Get through school. And this is the way it was. By any means necessary. Let's get you out of school.
Right.
That's how that goes. And that's the attitude I think that parents got to take by any means necessary. So you got to take those stands where they may not like it, but this is the best thing for you. You may not realize it because they don't know what's best for them. They really don't know what's best for them.
They don't.
That's why
They
you're the parent and they are a child. That's they have to be constantly reminded. Remember who you are, and remember, who we are, who I am. And I think when children understand that grandchildren alike, it's called helping children to develop a skill. When you say no, they have to develop that skill of no. No means no. Can I have no? You have to develop that skill, and then don't let them, because they are very skilled at manipulation.
Yeah,
very skilled at making you feel guilty about what you did.
Good grief. I have felt that. And I had to just fight. I had to fight my own self just to kick back the thought. Like, no. Literally step up. When I started saying what you said, I was like, oh my gosh, I am taking on my mom's spirit. So the more I heard that, I am not your friend. I love you, but right now we're not friends.
Yeah, I just think that these are real good topics. I don't know whether anybody had anything to say, but these are really, really good topics, and I think that and this is really free. People are paying for this kind of stuff about getting some parenting tips. So parenting tip 101 would be the P in parent. We're going to break out the acrostic of parent, and the acrostic parent. Each letter, and I think we talked about this earlier, maybe last year. Each letter really means something. And then I had a couple of teachers say, when I did this session once, that, man, this was really helpful. Can you come to our school and talk to all of our parents? This is the thing. The P in parent does really mean something. Never really thought about it. What would you say the P in parent means, Terry or Shawana? What do you think?
So I would
Each
say
letter means something. So we're going to start with the P tonight.
I would say protect and to provide.
Okay.
Provider.
Yeah. I was going to say provide. Yeah, be a provider. Purpose, teaching them purpose.
Okay. And if you had to develop just a full sentence for the P in parent, what would that be? Just a full sentence.
Let me see.
So I would share with you tonight.
My job is to protect you.
Yeah.
Or to provide.
My job is to protect you.
Okay. cool. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one, Terry.
And I
what's the
think I've
P?
shared this with a lot of people, but the P and parent, and I took this from adopted this from the Passage group, but the P and parent means actually to put yourself in the way,
Oh, yes.
to put yourself in the way of your children, put yourself in the way.
So,
And so
and what does that mean?
well, let me share this with you. So Milton Greer, who's a great, great, parenting expert, and I did some training, under him. And he gave this great
I remember that.
example about this woman, up in Tennessee, and Tennessee have the hills, and up in the mountains, and so she lived on the third floor, and so on the third floor of the apartment, meaning that it was like up in the mountains, like the fifth floor, where her apartment caught on fire. Okay, and when her apartment caught on fire, she had a 2-year-old son, and they were blocked in her bedroom. So she couldn't think of, what does she need to do? So what she did was she grabbed her 2-year-old and she wrapped her body, around her baby, and she opened the window and she jumped out the window with her baby in her arms.
Right.
And just as she got to the ground, she turned her body around and she landed on her back.
On her back. Okay.
What happened? Her baby was protected. Why?
Yep.
Because she put herself
in the way
of her baby. Now she have back problems to this day. But guess what?
Wow.
Her baby was
protected.
So that's what that was called. The P in parent is to put yourself in the way. And I normally have parents to develop their own acrostic for the P in parent. As we move down through, these sessions, just talking about, parenting and what can we do and how we can help, even on, Facebook Live, how we can help parents. We want invite your friends. Invite them that have children, young children, teenagers, especially teenagers. We're going to be giving some nuggets that's going to really, really help you. These are nuggets these are things that we use in our parenting sessions. So the P in parent means to put yourself in the way. You can also develop your own P for that. You said provider. Providing is the best thing I can do for you. It's to provide for you. Those kind of things.
I love to put yourself in the way, because
me too.
You're always doing that. You're always, when you're giving wisdom to them, when you're, saying, hey, go down this path, consider this direction, don't go in that direction. Or you get in front of them, you see them ready to run into a wall, like you're like, trying to, help them from doing that. So I love that. That is so powerful. And that goes with your protection provider, all those different things.
Yeah.
That's like,
because parents do not have all the keys. There's no perfect, perfect
right. No matter how many books you read. I'm sorry.
Parent.
Every child is different. Yeah.
And also, and even after you do the best that you can, even after you've done all that you can do, then they still might mess up. But what you want to do is to build a resilient child, so that child will be able to do what? I have a ball, bounce back. And that's what you want to do, because although they may go off the straight and narrow, however, if they do, they got something that will bring them back. Sort of like what the prodigal son did.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Had it all.
He left and then he came back. That's right.
Went off, squandered all of his money, did all of that. Parents provided the best for him. He had the best. And this is, again, is a great example where, children don't understand the appreciation for what they do have, right?
They
don't understand that. He didn't appreciate all that his father had done, just like many other children. I don't care. You can give them and give them and give them. And then, they, may not appreciate it.
You don't appreciate it.
And children don't.
Until later.
It's our job to provide their needs. And the wants, they need to earn their wants. But these children, in this day and time, they get all they want, they need, everything. They don't have to earn anything.
Then some.
That's why there's no appreciation for it.
Exactly.
some things should be at an age you grow to get that. That's why you got your young ladies look like they're grown and old, because they have at a young age been allowed to, just be in a teenage or in an adult position,
Right.
And so, no, I just think that there should be age appropriateness, and you
Yes.
earn things according to your age.
Right.
As you get a little bit older, yes, you can do that. We used to be, we couldn't wait until we got to be 13 years old to be able to put on a little pair of stockings or something or whatever.
Oh, Lord.
You couldn't wait until
Mom,
you
you're
got.
dating yourself.
Yeah. So now, they can just, huh?
I said, don't nobody wear stockings now.
I know they don't. I'm sorry, but that back in the
yeah.
day. I'm just saying, at our age, we just couldn't
Yeah.
grow up too fast. They didn't let us. They try not to let us grow up too fast. And I say the
Mhm.
I
same
have
thing.
some quotes. So before we wrap up, I know we're coming down to the end, but I could give a couple of quotes.
Yes.
Go.
20 quotes from parents.
Yes.
One of the quotes is, the best inheritance a parent can give his children is a few minutes of his time each day.
That's right.
Wow.
So
Isn't
important.
that powerful?
Powerful.
So important.
So
That's deep.
powerful. And then another one says, first, your parents, they give you your life, but then they try to give you their life.
Wow. My
And
goodness.
another one says,
Really?
behind every young child who believes in himself is a parent who believed first.
Wow.
Okay.
Isn't that good? Then here's one that says,
good stuff.
parenthood is about guiding the next generation and forgiving the last. That's powerful right there.
That's powerful.
Parenthood is about guiding the next generation and forgiving the last. This is Peter Cross who said this.
Okay.
And then Virginia Satter, she says, so much is asked of parents and so little is given.
Yes. Yes.
And then here's another one from Chuck Palahniuk. And he said, parents are like God because you want to know they're out there and you want them to think well of you, but you really only call when you need something.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, wow.
And the reason we're doing this because we're coming up on Mother's Day too.
Mhm.
So, wow.
So I'll save the rest of these for a future
Next
time,
week.
but these are some really, really good quotes.
And just think about it. Terry indicated, or Terry mentioned earlier that so many grandparents will assist in this. Grandparents have to give, wisdom, give little nuggets, and some grandparents are actually raising their children. So many children. Can I tell you? I was talking with someone the other day that actually, works for DFACS and said so many children are coming into the system just by the droves daily. Oh my goodness. Just so many children being lost to the system. And it just kind of hurts your heart because so many things that happens to children unfortunately, when they go into the system. And so, we're doing everything that we can in terms of giving children those things that they really need. And these are the three things that I leave tonight, that it is important that we teach them accountability. Children learning, to be accountable, teaching them dependability. They need to learn how to be dependable, even based on the things that, you give them to do, you're trusting them. And then the last one would be they need to learn responsibility. Now, all of these are three character traits that must be built within our children. These are actually character traits. They need these character traits in order to be able to survive and to become a resilient. They need that. And it's our job, as parents, grandparents, to help them to be reminded that you need to be accountable for your actions. That
That's
you need
right.
to be dependable. I need to be able to rely on you, and all of these brings trustworthiness. I can trust one that's accountable, that's dependable, and that will, learn responsibility. They teach them that in kindergarten. We're getting ready to close up. Teach them that in kindergarten. Clean up, clean up. Everybody clean up.
Everybody everywhere. That's right.
That little,
That's
that,
Barney
that,
song.
that teacher. So when they get home, you need to continue that with them. You see that they can pick up their little things in their room. You're teaching them that, and that's really, really important. So what do you think? Are we moving forward? Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? You know.
Now
Yeah,
that we
good stuff.
Yeah, I think it was really good. This has been really, really good. I think the thing that you said, and I know this is the last thing probably, but the thing that you said that resonates is it doesn't end when you're bringing them up, through the baby, teenage years, all of that. It doesn't end. You continue parenting, I mean, you're still parenting me and I'm 50. So it's not like it's something that's going to end. And then you're also giving us wisdom on our grandchildren. So it's not only us you parenting us and raising our children. We're also continues to go from generation to generation. So parenting never ends. But
yeah, I don't think it stops either. I think it continues because she's still parent me. And I'm 50.
Well,
what's it, Mom? We're good. This is great. Looking forward to
it. Never ends. It never ends.
This has been Let's Talk About It with Alice, and this is our Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live with Let's Talk About It with Alice. Oh my goodness! And we're coming up to Mother's Day, which is next Sunday. Is that next Sunday? So we're excited about that, and so we're just kind of talking about those things. And I think for the month of May will be the month of our Parents Month. It's Mother's Month. Just talking about those things that that's going to be helpful for parents. We don't have all the skills, and one of the things is that it's not teaching parents, and that's why a lot of parents just kind of steer away from parenting sessions because they feel like I don't need anybody to teach me how to raise my child. It's not that. It's being what we are calling now coaching. It's being sharing. It's being giving you some tools and some nuggets that will help you to be the parent, grandparent, because we realize that parenting is not easy, but it is one of the best jobs that you would ever have. It will just ease your anxiety to have something in your toolbox to pull out when the children come off with something different. Okay. Now I know how to do that. So that's what it's all about, not just for young parents, but especially teens, because we're seeing so much with our teenagers now. And a lot of parents, defending their children in some of the wrong ways. And so
we got to talk about that next week. I think it would be good to talk about parents
defending their children. That's a good one. All right. This has been Let's Talk About It with Alice. Thank you so much for joining. Terry, any last words?
No, everything was good. You said it all.
Dr. Steve, next week. All right. So thank you for joining in on this Saturday evening with Let's Talk About It with Alice. As we always say, love,
peace,
and increase.
It's love. It's a peace, and it is certainly the increase. Thank you.
Yes.
Have a good one. Goodbye.